Previously on building Benny's movie park.
Look, this is already getting some shape. Only one more row and there you go. Here, this is quite lovely, isn't it? I like that a lot, actually. Now, to make sure these colors fade sort of into each other, we have to add some variety in there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another brand new episode of Building Benny's Movie Park 2. I am delighted to have you join us today. Let's see what we're gonna do. As I mentioned in the previous episode, right here in this corner, we're gonna build a beautiful helicopter based on the ones we can see during the events of Kong Skull Island, which, according to my research, is a Bell UH-1 UE helicopter. So let's get to it. Before we can really start doing the chopper though, we first need sort of an outline of where the rocks are going to be. Because if you remember, I had the idea to put him in some sort of net, as if he got stuck in a net, or maybe some vines or something of that sort. But obviously for that we first need to know where these nets actually can hang. That's where these beautiful, beautiful rocks come in once again. Ladies and gentlemen. Now my first instinct would be to begin with the helicopter and then the vines or nets. But, so yeah, I guess let's do that because I wouldn't know how else to start. Let's begin with just the base of it, I guess. Just a very simple outline. I do want it to have interior, which honestly is just gonna make it more complicated. But I really feel like that's worth making because it would be super dope. I wanna try to get that round shape in there as well. So let's use these pieces to do that. I really hope this works. If this actually turns out to look like it does in my head, it's gonna be insane. Oh my god! Keep falling down. You know what? I'm done. Let's do it like this. Here you go. No more falling down. That's a lot better. Okay, carrying on. This thing is gonna be so accurate. I feel like this may just become one of the coolest things I will make. Actually, before going into hyper detail, I'll first... What the hell is going on here? I was gonna say I will first paint it just like this in a similar to the final color. I'm not sure exactly yet, but something like this, so that later I don't have to get into all these little cracks and thingies to paint it, because that will be a massive pain. This right here, about like that, I think is gonna be the nose. Dude, this is gonna be a fire model. I'm not even kidding. This bit at the front is gonna be kind of tricky because I want to get the angles as right as I can, but you know, you can only get so far using blocky elements. Now let's try putting together the cockpit, kind of like this. This is already getting some shape. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take some creative liberties in the creation of this chopper. There is just no way I'm gonna get it completely accurate to the real thing, but we can always try to get as close as possible. It will just have some small details that the original doesn't have, but that's fine. Then on the top, there's this kind of weird thing where the blades are attached to. In general, the tail is gonna be quite a thing, because it has this super specific angle, which I do want to get right, sort of. I think maybe something like this isn't so bad. Gotta make sure it's nice and smooth, kind of like that. Has a nice effect. Yes. Also want to put all these tiny little details on there as well, like that, even though I'm not sure that's actually supposed to be there. Anyway, let's first fix the tail, so that's done as well. They also have these flaps on the back. Gotta make sure to include those as well. This tail thingy is a bit tricky, but I think we got there. Something like this shouldn't be too far off. And then we of course also want to put that round thingy. We can later put the blades in. Blades, rotary blades, whatever. The landing gear is also super important. I'm using very simple tubes for that. I think that will work pretty much perfectly. I just have to make sure it's symmetrical on both sides. Let's paint this dark gray metal. Here you go. That looks pretty nice. Ooh, this is getting shape, guys. Very good. Now, before moving on to the blades on the top, I will first get myself a very nice. What? Okay, let's see. How the hell am I even gonna make this? I suppose we begin with just a cylinder in the middle where it all spins around. That seems like the absolute least we can do. I mean, really looking at the real thing, there's a lot going on here, so I'm curious to see if we can do something like it, but it is mostly cylinders for the first part, I guess. Something like this, I guess? I don't even know. And this sort of stuff, honestly, dude, I don't even know. I mean, it looks fine, so I guess we'll just go with it. And then the actual blades themselves. These, of course, have to be black. The only thing is the length of the blades. I have no idea how long they should be. Let's see. Definitely longer. I'm not sure we have enough wiggle room at all. Let's see. They have to be about this wide, I think. Looks pretty accurate. And then let's extend it even further. I think something like this is about it, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that's a bit on the lengthy side, or is that okay? Then we simply have to copy that to the other side, just like this. And that, isn't actually so bad. Background here is pretty dark as well. Maybe we can change the time of day, like this. Yeah, they're a bit more clear. I quite like it though. It's not so bad. I think, however, we should lean towards more of this kind of color. You often see them depicted as quite dark, almost black sometimes. So I think maybe this would be a bit of a better option. Here I am painting the whole thing afterwards anyway, because, you know, I do want to add some tiny little detail inside here. Just some patterns on the ground maybe. Even a tiny little door to the cockpit. Look at that. Isn't that just lovely? Let's get rid of these platforms I used to stand on. Here you go. Now it's kind of floating. Okay, I promise this is the last detail. I'm gonna add some little tiny blinking lights inside of it. Some nice interior, because I'm sure everyone's gonna see the inside of this. And a little green light. Beautiful. That is just some lovely interior detail in there that absolutely no one needed, but it's there anyway. Psych. I also want to add some crates in here. There you go. I promise this is really, really the last thing. Or is it? We probably also want to have a light up here, like a blinking light so you can see it in the sky. Very realistic. Okay, but now for real, the actual vines or nets or whatever it's hanging in here. To be fair, looking at it now, I should have probably have it tilt a bit further down on the front, but I guess we can still make something work. Let's begin by adding some of these bushes that we have on this mountain in the back. It would make sense to have that here as well. Besides, here we can actually add some vines too, possibly. Just some of this stuff all over the place. Here you go. Beautiful. And you know what? We can even add some palm trees as well, because of course in the back we have a ton of those. So it definitely merges. Oh. So annoying, honestly. Can we put one here? No. Okay. Why? There isn't even that much stuff there. What? Oh, it would look so nice. I'm just kind of adding like a little platform that is sitting on here, because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to add a lot of vines and stuff, because it seems there are already way too many items in this little area, so that's going to be a serious problem. This way it won't look like it's floating in the air out of nothing though, so that is, I guess, better already. Here, just kind of like this. That already looks pretty nice. And I mean, we can always put some ivy, like so, just kind of hanging from that, as if it's been sitting here for a long time. And the vine idea we can do using simple cylinders like this one. And we'll just need to add the correct texture to it to make it look like vines. Sadly, not exactly what I had in mind, but I guess this is fun as well. So let's just go for it. And of course, to add some consistency, some of these on the rocks in the back as well. I mean, isn't it just lovely? Check that out. That looks quite nice. Some nice fun detail in there. Now I just have to make sure all of this is kind of nicely filled up using rocks and maybe some wood. Or I have an idea. First, let me just put these rocks in place real quick to make sure that connects nicely to the rest. What if, since this is technically the other entrance of Skull Island, we just build a giant entrance made out of bones? I mean, that is sick. Let's go and do that right now. Honestly, I'm just baffled I didn't do that at the other entrance already. It just seems like the most basic idea for Skull Island. But it's fine, we can do it now. We're just gonna go for the very basic bone kind of shape. Oh god. Ladies and gentlemen, this is work in progress. Don't worry. It'll be fine. Worst thing is, realistically, it won't be fine, because this is simply what these bones look like. Let's paint it this lighter color, like that. Look, here you go. That's not so bad. Right? That is okay. We're good. We're good. And then a very large horizontal one on top of it, which then finishes the entrance kind of look. There you go. Here you go. Now that looks quite sweet. Yeah, I like it. We'll add some little rocks underneath these to make sure it's nicely supported, and then we should be absolutely golden. I'm also gonna add the idea of some sort of ropes that hold this structure together. Here you go, just like that. That actually looks quite lovely. Then here I'll just make a simple archway to kind of split these up into 2 different segments. Painted stone, perfect. Then I'm gonna fill up this last little bit of rocks, and then I'll be right back with you. Also a little lantern so it's not completely dark here, and the same goes for maybe on the other side right here. Little handle for it. There you go. Beautiful. That is looking pretty sweet. To be fair, right now, other than the actual tiny details like benches and trash cans, we just need to fix this right here, and that is rocks. It is rocks once again, although I feel like we could put maybe a little stall here. And first, by the way, I want to put a little island here with just maybe a palm tree on it, anything that looks fun. Otherwise, I feel like there's a bit of a large open area that's not being used whatsoever. And I think this could make for some fun detail. Here you go, a lovely tree, and maybe a bit of a smaller one right next to it. Looks quite nice. Then for now, I think that is more than enough. In the next episode, we can fill up this area with some fun scenery. We can add a stall right here. We can add some benches, some really just fun details. And of course, once and for all, connect these 2 properly. We can fix the back right here. Next episode is going to be a bit of more small details, adding some stuff here and there. Just anything. So if you have any fun ideas, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. And then I guess for today, that is it. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single next upload. And then I hope I'll see you in my next video.